reflecting some of the oldest known beliefs and traditions on the planet, alluding to things that very much will affect the unprepared. My name is Joshua Free, and we have been exploring on Mardukite TV essentially the background behind the Mardukite Chamberlains work, the Sumerian work, other related aspects to this tradition and this way of understanding. The initiate, if they be already unstable, does indeed, as has been suggested, kind of risk their own delicate psyche when really dabbling in lore better left to others. But it's not necessarily any more the case with something like the Necronomicon than anything else. Really, we all know these types. If they weren't able to attribute their madness to like the Necronomicon, it would just as soon be, something else. They'd become, fundamentalist victims of some other creed. The difference is that the Necronomicon represents the truth behind the world, hidden in the shadows, in the darkness. This is something, just hidden behind man's worldview today. It becomes an easy target for attack, and because of its tangible absence, but century of illusions, its reputation preceded it. So, when experienced in the dualistic manner common to the world as we know it, the Necronomicon does seem to represent a dark element. Part of this is simply because of the title, these gothic overtones that are related to death. Another part is the methodology involved, because it does represent aspects of our history that have been hidden from mankind, or misrepresented. And then once we find the truth behind even the system it in and of itself is based in, shrouded in deception, well, where do we go from there? Because it alludes even further to an understanding of existence that requires no degrees, titles, magic words, is instead dependent on true and faithful, individualized experience in what some have called the abyss, a void of naught, which is just so happens to be like the true background material to material reality, to concrete material reality, physical reality, and it's everywhere and nowhere at once. So, again, some popular misconceptions. The Necronomicon is a very serious subject, well beyond the scope of Lovecraftian fantasies, that those of us who have been blessed to be involved in its necessary conscious changing return for modern times in this millennium, we take it very seriously, and this is something unlike many of the Necronomicon critics out there who simply scream hoax to anything that bears the title. So, as a result of that, the current Mardukite institution is a little bit more sympathetic towards the Sumerian contribution. As we can tell, most of the work for the Sumerian work basically was handled by Peter Ovenda, who has actually remained kind of the public face of the Simon work, regardless of who Simon may actually be, according to me. It's interesting to note, though, that combined Simon-Peter is actually, it's actually kind of significant. But there are mutual acquaintanceships between Mardukites and the Sumerian circles, so honestly the protection of individual identities, associations, so forth, especially when dealing with the underground work as it's brought to somewhat public light and subject to scrutiny, for example, on YouTube, or when our works are offered to the public, like on eBay or on our NecroGate site. So a lot of what, when we talk about the Necronomicon, the Anunnaki and whatnot, and our Bible, Gates of the Necronomicon, Sumerian religion and all that, that is mostly based on raw tablet material. But like what this modern series is based on is actually a book called Nine Gates of the Kingdom of Shadows, Necronomicon Revelations, which you can acquire at Mardukite.com or NecroGate.com.